So in part C, we're trying to find that particular solution y equals f of x with the initial condition f of 0 equals 3. So going through the point 0, 3. So our derivative is x squared times y minus 1. First step, separating the variables. We're going to multiply both sides by dx. So dy equals x squared times y minus 1 dx. But we want the x's over here. We don't want any y's. We need to move this y minus 1. So we're going to divide by y minus 1. We get 1 over y minus 1 dy equals x squared dx. So there we've separated our variables. Right, x and the dx over here, y and the dy on this side. That's worth 1 point. Then we have to do the antiderivative of each side. This, we're going to get 3 possible points here. First, the antiderivative of this, we're going to get natural log of absolute value of y minus 1. Over here, we get 1/3 x cubed plus c. So we get 1 point for this antiderivative, 1 point for this antiderivative, and 1 point for the plus c. Right, then we need to figure out what c is. So we're going to use this point and substitute it in. We're putting 0 in for x, 3 for y. So we get natural log of absolute value of 3 minus 1. That's just going to be 2. And then 1/3 times 0 cubed, that's just going to be 0. So c comes out to be natural log of 2. I would leave it like that. Don't write it as a decimal. Just leave it as natural log of 2. Then we're going to take that and put it into our equation. Natural log of absolute value of y minus 1 equals 1/3 x cubed plus natural log of 2. So our last step, this finding c, that was worth 1 point. Now our last step is worth 1 point also. We have to solve this equation for y. So to get rid of this natural log and get the y out, we're going to take e to the power of each side. So e to the natural log of absolute value of y minus 1, that just equals absolute value of y minus 1. Over here we have e to the 1/3 x cubed plus natural log of 2. Now with this, you don't have to simplify this, but there's a way to simplify this. So I'm just going to show you because it's done that way in the rubric, and you might see that at other places. If it were multiple choice, they would probably simplify this. I'm going to go back to some algebra, some basic algebra stuff. If we have x to the 3rd times x to the 5th, what does that equal? X to the 8th. Right? Technically what we're doing there is taking x to the 3 plus 5, but we never write that step. We just add them up. Well, what I'm going to do up here is kind of go backwards from this step. X to the 3 plus 5, that's the same as x to the 3rd times x to the 5th. We're just used to going the opposite direction. So right here, we can write this as e to the 1/3 x cubed times e to the natural log of 2. Instead of adding those up there, we can separate it into 2 separate exponential expressions. What's e to the natural log of 2? Just 2. Right, so really, this is the same as 2e to the 1/3 x cubed. Might have been, I don't remember. Alright, so that just simplifies things a little bit. Like I said, if you left it like this and kept on with the problem, finished it, they would not take points off. That's still acceptable. But I just want to show this in case it was something that might come up in the multiple choice. Now, we need to finish this off. Since it's absolute value, that means there's 2 possibilities. Y minus 1 equals 2e to the 1/3 x cubed, or y minus 1 equals negative 2e to the 1/3 x cubed. So we can add 1 to both sides. And then we have to check which one works. So we're going to use this point, 0, 3, and plug it in. If we put 0 in, e to the 0 is 1. times 2 is 2, plus 1 gives us 3. This one we get 1 minus 2 is negative 1, so this is our final answer here, and that's our last point.